This might be one of the most useful flowers that I grow. Not only is it absolutely gorgeous and super easy to grow, it has some pretty surprising benefits. So let me show you how they can benefit you by growing them, how they can be used in your kitchen to make something really yummy, and how I use them to make one of my absolutely favorite go-to home remedies. The nasturtiums are so easy to plant. We can start them indoors and you can start them outdoors. I'm going to show you both, and then we'll get to how you can use them. Most of the time I would show how I use the plant when I'm harvesting the plant. I wanted to go ahead and show you how to get yours started, show you how you can use them so you can get started on it this year and not have to wait a whole year. And then we'll get in the kitchen and look at the other goodies. The nasturtiums come in all kinds of pretty colors. This is the first time I'm growing these vining ones. These are a pretty good size seed, and I like to soak them overnight, just overnight. It's not necessary. You can just soak them a few hours or just directly plant them. As you can see, some of these will float. So that's why I like to soak them. Ones that float usually aren't viable. This little roll may look strange to you, but this is how I grow a lot of my seeds. I have videos on that. You can go check those out. I'll have those linked in the description. But you can do them the normal old way. Once you've soaked them and you want to plant them just about 1.5 times deep as the size of the seed. But we're just going to poke them in here, cover them up, and that should be great. Make sure you keep them moist until they start popping out of the ground. Super easy. Now outside, if you wanted to sow them directly into your soil, same thing. Just poke them in, cover them up. You're going to have to keep these good and moist. So just keep an eye on them. These are planted out after you have no threat of frost. These are a tropical plant. Once you get this established, it's a pretty tough little plant. It's pretty much drought tolerant, and they thrive really well with neglect. So they're great. The bees and the butterflies love them. I just love having them in the garden. They bloom heavily for months, even into the fall. Every bit of the nasturtium plant is edible. The flowers, the leaves, the stems, even the seeds, and I'll show you more about that here in just a second. What I have here is a tincture, and what I've done is I've taken the leaves, chopped them up, put them in the jar, filled it up with alcohol, and I'll set it in a cool, dark place and leave it, let it steep for about 4 to 6 weeks. Typically what I do is I'll prepare a tincture, and when I need it, I strain it. So let's get this strained. What you'll need to strain it is, I like to use a mason jar, a stainless steel funnel. This is a stainless steel mesh strainer. You could definitely use a strainer and a cloth or some cheesecloth, but I love this little guy, so we're going to use that. This just fits down into the funnel, and we'll let it strain out. You just pour it in. Nasturtium is antimicrobial. It supports the immune system. It is anti-inflammatory. So many good benefits. If you start to feel like I'm having a sore throat, respiratory issues, anytime I start to feel a little icky, this is one of the things that I start taking to try to head off any of the yuckies. You can make the tincture with the leaves, flowers, stems, all the things. I mainly just used the leaves, and then I saved the flowers for this lovely thing. Now, isn't that pretty? I find it interesting that this one isn't as dark as this one, but I did them the same. You can use all parts of the plant for this. I just happen to use the leaves and stems. And because of the nasturtium's antimicrobial properties, you could also infuse some of the dried leaves into an oil, and that would make a great ear oil. The dogs sometimes get problems with their ears. I wouldn't want to put the alcohol in their ears, so I'll probably make an oil this season when we get some growing. Not only is it antimicrobial, but it has a lot of nutrients in it as well. Let's take a look at how you can use it in the kitchen. Now, we can also get benefits from eating these as well. Let me get this cleaned up. I'll just throw this in the compost. And then we'll get this strained. We're going to do the same thing with this. Now, I didn't tell you what this is. This is a Nasturtium-infused vinegar. Just like the tincture, the alcohol will pull out the nutrients and the properties from the plant matter, and vinegar does that as well. Just a little slightly different. All you do is you just place the flowers in the jar like this, and then you just pour a nice, I like a apple cider vinegar. This is a vinegar that I made, but you can use just a nice apple cider vinegar. I would recommend a vinegar with the mother, organic if possible. You just cover the flowers with the vinegar, put the lid on it, and let it sit. Just like the tincture, you just let that sit 4 to 6 weeks. It's a vinegar. You can taste it, see when it's ready. You'll notice it starts changing color. The flowers are pretty much depleted of any of their pretty color. It's a real peachy color. So pretty. So let's get this strained, and we're going to make a nice vinaigrette for dinner tonight. Same thing. We're just going to pour it through the strainer. Nice. Those are tasty. Well, those would be good on the salad. I don't like to use my metal lids with the vinegars. It will corrode the lids, so plastic lid. Isn't that pretty? It looks like peaches. I wanted to show you what you could do with your nasturtium now, so you can get your seeds started and you'll know what you're going to do with it, and you don't have to wait till next year to get yours started if this is something new for you. This is a super simple dressing. You can change it up. It's real flexible. What you'd need is either a vinegar or lemon juice. You don't have to have nasturtium vinegar. We're just fancy like that. Then you need an oil. I'm going to use just an avocado oil. Depending on what you're having, you could use a nice olive oil. But with what we're having for dinner tonight, I think just something more neutral would be better. A little bit of honey and dry mustard. Now you could also use some Dijon mustard. It's going to act as the emulsifier to get the oil and vinegar and everything sort of to mix up. But I'm out of Dijon mustard, so hold on. The dog's going to have a drink right now. Okay, he's done. They're going to start wanting dinner here in a minute. And then a little bit of salt. And you can use different seasonings. This is so flexible. You could just change it up any old way. But it's, oh, an onion. A little bit of an onion. We're going to do 3/4 cup of oil. 3/4. Now, a lot of times I just eyeball this because you don't have to be super precise. Then you're going to do 1/4 cup of your acid. So whether it's just a good rice wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, or nasturtium vinegar. You're going to do 1/4 cup of your vinegar. I'm a little heavy on it, but like I said, I'd be eyeballing this if I wasn't trying to make it for you. I'm going to do, now you could change this up. You can start with 1 tablespoon of honey. I like mine a little sweeter, so I'm going to do maybe 2 tablespoons of honey. And then you can always taste it when you're done and add more. Now that's just burnt near. Like I said, I eyeball it. And then the dry mustard. It's a new bottle. Let me see. If you were using Dijon mustard, like actual mustard, you could do just a dollop, but about a tablespoon. And this, I'm going to use a little bit of a teaspoon since it's the dry. And like I said, that's going to get everything to emulsify a little better. Just a pinch of salt. You could do some pepper. You could do some Italian seasoning, bagel seasoning. Bagel seasoning is good. And then I like to grate a little bit of onion. This is a sweet onion too, so I got a sweet tooth. You could do a little bit of garlic. Oh, I had this right here. I prepared and then I forgot. And then you just grate about a tablespoon. Like I said, I eyeball it, but you just grate the onion. And see, it'll get the juice and just, I mean, it's almost just mush. You can stir this up real good, or you can shake it. Now, if this were regular mustard, it'd probably already be. Let's stir that. The honey's kind of settling on the bottom. I'm making a mess again. Shake it up a little more. It's good measure. Looks like it's pretty incorporated. Looks good. Let's taste it. Now look, it's not runny. And all of that, it's not really separated. Now, if you find later that it starts separating on you, just give it a good stir or shake again. That is pretty. Let's taste it. It's nice and really light. I like it. And this is where you can customize it. I think I'm going to put a little bit of garlic, a little bit of pepper. This is just a little tiny bit of garlic. Like I said, whatever floats your boat. And a little bit of garlic is floating my boat. Some fresh cracked pepper. See, this is so versatile. You could do lemon juice instead of the vinegar, some poppy seeds, all the things. Isn't that pretty? All of that will kind of blend together. And then it's even better days after. So. Get a different spoon. Nobody wants me double dipping in the dressing. That's nice. And like I said, it's really light. Now let's get the salad made. Another thing to keep in mind, when you are getting your nutrients from an actual food, it is already a combination of all the different vitamins and minerals that work together. Your body's able to absorb more of the nutrients in their natural state than if you were just taking supplements. So I bought these pretty little tomatoes. I cannot wait until the garden starts growing our own. If you take your dressing and just pour a little bit into the bottom, now you kind of got to guess. We can always add more later. Then we're going to chop our veggies and put it on top of the dressing. In the summer, you can use the leaves, the flowers. They're lovely on a salad too. The leaves are very peppery tasting. You know how arugula is very peppery? Similar, but it's different. It is, to me, it tastes really more like pepper. And the flowers, they're a lighter peppery taste, and I don't know, they're just good. And the flowers are loaded with vitamin C, which is great for our skin and our whole body. The superpower flower. For instance, the tincture. It's nice to have that on hand because you never know when you're going to start to feel a little under the weather, and you have it. And you don't have to reach for something over the counter. You can take care of you and your family super easy. This is going to feel really nice and special with hardly any effort. And when we're ready to eat, I can just toss the vinaigrette all around and serve it up. I'm excited to see what everybody thinks. Super easy with very little effort. You can sneak in lots of nutrients and your family won't even notice. This is just a sample of the things I do around here. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, if you will hit the little bell notification button below the video there and hit like and subscribe, that way you'll get notified anytime I put up a new video. And here are some more videos that I'm pretty sure you will enjoy. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. My name's Loanna, and this is A Little Bit of Homestead.